In 2019, I had my first child, and I promised myself that I would never be like my father was. He was irritable, intimidating, scary, emotionally unavailable, very dysregulated. In 2021, I had my second child, and I doubled down on that promise that I made to myself. But things started to change. I started to feel more irritable, overwhelmed. I was really struggling with the adjustment to becoming a mom of two. I started to yell and snap at my son. I still recall the day where I yelled at him simply because he wanted to be close to me, and it felt uncontrollable for me. And I felt so guilty about it for a really long time. At that time, I had started to feel like my worst nightmare was coming true. I was in the biggest fight of my life. I was chronically overwhelmed, overstimulated, I was irritable, and I didn't like who I was becoming. So that same year, I started to write a book for parents, helping them to learn how to emotionally regulate themselves. But actually, when I look back on it, I was writing that book for me. It almost felt like a love letter to the version of me who desperately wanted to change, who felt so out of control but still wanted to show up and be the best parent to her kids. By 2024, I had started to implement the strategies that I wrote in that book into my own personal life. I started to notice more of my internal reactions and more in the moment as well. I also gave myself a lot more compassion. I also started to grieve parts of me that had to change in order for me to become a mother. The book I wrote and the framework inside of it really was the treatment I needed to turn around these cycles of dysregulation. Dysregulation that could have become emotional harm and scarcity if I didn't make a change. In 2024, my book was published, and I started to feel so much better about myself as a mom. But I wasn't sure if the book was actually going to support others. Was it really just only my cure? Would it translate to helping other people? And turns out it was the cure and the support that so many other people have needed as well. So now it's 2026. I'm not perfect, but I'm light years ahead of the mother that I was in 2021. All because of those seeds that were planted as I was writing my book, A Parent's Guide to Self-Regulation. If you see yourself in my story, I'm here to encourage you that it's never too late. You can turn this around. My book has supported parents for the last 2 years, and now I'm taking so much of what is in that book and putting it inside my parenting program, Becoming the Parent You Needed. Becoming the Parent You Needed is my 8-week parent program for parents who want to stop reacting and want to respond more intentionally to the child in front of them. Together, we do the emotional work that will allow you to show up as the parent you've always wanted to be. So if you've ever found yourself saying some version of, I know the parent I want to be, it's just so hard to get there, this program is for you. Hope to see you there.